Hi, welcome to Jesus Loves Joe. I'm Bobby.
I'm Jerry.
I'm Hope.
I'm Donna.
Today we are going to take a little trip, a wilderness survival guide podcast. Now, not like off the grid, like type thing, which I know Jerry would like, but sometimes like we're feeling definitely like when we're walking into the unknown, kind of the wilderness. And we can have periods or seasons in our life where we're kind of unsure about what's going on and the things that are going on. And right now we're getting ready to roll into summertime, and you might be thinking about a trip to the lake or a vacation or, you know, planning that out, maybe a camping trip or something like that, you know, and that can be daunting. Shout out to my mom who had 4 kids and planned those kind of things with no money and, you know, no ability to, you know, have like neighbors that had a lake house or things like that. But we always went on some type of trip, and usually it was to visit family. And a shout out to my mom that did that with 4 kids and no complaining, because I know when I traveled with my kids, there was lots of complaining about a lot of things. So just a shout out, she was a rock star. And so summertime was like amazing when you were a kid. Think about that. As school comes to a close this year and your kids are excited about the summer, just give me a little quick thing. What was your most favorite thing about summertime as a kid?
No school.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
Sleeping
just
in.
sleeping. Days never ended, man. It's just like, and there was, I mean, I could have just lived in the summers for sure. Yeah.
How about you?
Freedom.
I was sleeping in. Like I just like to move slow.
Yeah, I think the endless possibilities of hanging out with friends and getting to do whatever you want to do. Well, not anything you want to do.
It was different.
Just
get home and
less
the lights be
routine.
less
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
A
freedom,
break from the
freedom,
routine. Yeah.
freedom, that kind of thing. So, you know, for parents, it was kind of daunting as you get older. You know, summer vacation for your kids is daunting for you because it's like, what are we going to do with these kids for 8 weeks or 9 weeks? Particularly those out there that have little kids. You know, you're thinking about camps or things like that to keep them busy. Or if you're a work from home parent and you're thinking, oh, work for me is going to be tough over the next several months and things like that. So, you know, we have those times in life when you kind of feel like you're walking into the wilderness, and that brought me to Exodus. And I know you're thinking, what, Exodus? You know, if you think about it, the Israelites in Exodus, you know, they see the Red Sea parted like a curtain, and they get to the other side and they're immediately, you know, starting to complain about the catering service. Like, what are we going to eat now? Yeah, isn't that kind of like summer? Like kids are excited. You said you're excited as a kid about summer, and then all of a sudden they're in summer and they're bored. What are we going to eat? You know, the complaining starts. So let me go to the scripture first. In Exodus chapter 16 verses 2 and 3, and I'm in the NIV version. In the desert, the whole community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The Israelites said to them, "If only we had died by the Lord's hand in Egypt. There we sat around pots of meat and ate the food that we wanted. But if you have brought us out here in the desert to starve this entire assembly to death." So, like, how dramatic is that?
So dramatic.
I mean,
It's a
drama.
toddler.
can you
It's
relate to
toddler.
that though? The kids do that. They come out of their rooms like, I'm starving. You know,
Nothing to eat.
the whole mantra. So the question here is, you know, God's often providing them the manna, you know, to us. He's providing the food to us, exactly what we need, but we often get bored with it too. So I want you to just think, my listeners out there and y'all right here, what manna has God sent down to you recently that you're complaining about? Can you think of anything?
I think this probably covers many folks. You know, provision is oftentimes a thing, and it's like there's provision that comes from the Lord, and it is already His. He's blessing it with you, but we can very much put ourselves in a position where it's not enough, and we grumble that it's not enough. And He's like, well, I've given you exactly what you need. You know, now your wants may get in the way of that, but He's giving exactly what we need. So I think provision, and that's a manna thing too that they talk about in Exodus. But yeah,
I was kind of thinking about jobs. You know, most people
Sure.
work some type of job, and you're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, you know, Sunday comes around and people are like, oh man, I don't want to go to work this week, or
that's when I go to work. And I'm just kidding.
right.
It's
That is when you
it's
go to
every
work.
day.
But you think about, you know, that's really manna You know, God has given us those things. He's given us, you know, employment, provision, those kinds of things. Yet, as humans, we're like, yeah, but I don't like that job. I don't like the hours. I don't like to get up that early, those kinds of things. So can you think of anything that...
So sometimes, have you ever, I was just trying to think outside the box because provision definitely came to my mind.
I took the easy answer.
So since you took that answer, I'm going to stretch here a little bit and say that sometimes we aren't getting what we want, but something else is provided instead, but it's not what we want. So for example, let's say in the home, what you want is a conversation, let's just say, and what you get is the trees being trimmed.
We're bringing that up again?
We're back to the
I got
trees.
you, Caleb. I got you, buddy.
We
I got
saw
this.
the pictures. That's so forever.
That might have
funny.
happened yesterday. So
Yeah, and you know what?
The trees got trimmed.
All those cedar trees are gone, bro.
So there you go. Just in relationships, sometimes you want something from somebody and you get something different.
Well, and sometimes we have expectations in that
Yeah.
of something that's going to happen. We haven't asked for it. We just kind of think that that's what's supposed to happen or going to happen, and then we're disappointed or we are frustrated because that didn't happen. And
Right.
you know, that's a communication thing, a mind reader thing. You know, did the tree trimmer know that you wanted conversation?
Right.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe he was just trimming trees at an inopportune time, like often happens for tree trimmers.
Part of the yard work that day was on the list.
Oh my gosh. I have to say,
Don't throw Caleb under the bus
no,
here.
I'm going to throw myself
Okay.
today. Later. I have to identify with the Israelites here because I know that, it's like trusting in God to provide what we need and walking in that faith. And I know we're all called to do that. And it talks about that in the Bible so many times. But I have to admit, like we were just talking about, got done with the spring clothing and we made it through there financially. But I have to say, I find myself like so thankful that God does provide every step of the way. But I can't help but feel like, okay, I'd like a whole, open up a closet and all this manna come and let me just pick from the closet. Do I really have to every little step walk in faith? It gets, I don't know. Sometimes I just want this abundance and that's so selfish. And
Well, that's
I just want that security. You know what I mean?
I feel like you just set me up for a selfish plug. Because if you're wondering what Donna's actually speaking about, Small Rabbit Trail, Jesus Loves Joe is a ministry of weekday ministries. And weekday ministries exist to bring Christ to the community. And the community is also virtual, as you guys know, because you're watching this. But you can learn more about weekday ministries at weekdayministries.com and about the different opportunities that exist within there to support what Donna's actually speaking about when it comes to the provision and putting clothes on kids. So learn more there. And I'm sorry, I did not plan that selfish plug, but it just seemed like a good spot to do it.
And I don't mind saying we have gotten an abundant amount of kids to serve and through our mission. And it's really been in the past and when times were easier in the world and economy was different, we had more of an abundance, and God's calling us in this season to trust him every step of the way.
It's very hard sometimes, though, in our celebrating moment here to not go, okay, now let's prepare for the fall.
Right.
And to be like, okay, that's good for now, and I think the Israelites were kind
But
of
I don't know if
what
we're.
about?
I don't think we're saying this though. We could have just stayed there and died. Right?
Well,
we're not
we're
saying
not
that.
saying that.
Yeah.
No, but there's days when we're like,
I could have just stayed in the corporate world. No, you couldn't. They kept kicking you out. Yeah.
But it does. It gets tough because even though God provides, and that's we need to hold on to that. For some reason, they're still like, okay, God provided, and then I'm going to take that next step, and I'm like, oh, but what if he doesn't? Yeah. Well, he is. He says it. He promises. And so, yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't talk like this to Bobby and all of our ministry things. And but sometimes.
But we can get stuck in that world of we spend very little time in gratitude and much more time in the asking for what we think we need or want.
Yes.
And so that, that's something to
Ouch,
work
that
on.
was convicting.
Yeah. That's hard because you're right. We, for those who know our ministry, we have struggled this spring and we've worked really hard to make sure that we can provide the services that we would love to provide for children in our area. And we were successful, and we should be, raising the roof in celebration. But you're right. We all quickly went to exhale and then, then what's next?
Yeah.
And
how are we
so-
going to get this money for,
Sure.
Yeah,
So taking the opportunity to celebrate that God always showed up for us over and over and over again this spring. And, I gave it over to him in January when I was really struggling with trying to figure out how to make all that financial piece of it work as the chief financial officer of the organization. But at every corner, he said, trust me. And I had to give over that trust. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing to watch and continue to give over that trust and need reminders once in a while, like, hey, man, trust in the Lord. He's got you.
Well, even those that, growing up as single parents or just where money's tight. And I think all of us at some point have experienced that, or maybe not, but God always provides. And so even in our ministry realm, but if viewers out there are like, where am I going to get the next meal to feed my kids? Or what am I going to do? God finds a way, and he always sends somebody, or there's always something there, and it's never late.
Well, and think about it, to the families that we provided for this spring, God sent us.
Yeah.
He sent us to make
Absolutely.
sure that their children were clothed, and that freed up some financial pieces for those families that they didn't have to purchase those items for their kids. So, he works in such amazing ways and makes it all fit together. But again, we still, end up falling back to those, first world problems.
Yes.
We complain and we do that. And, I was going to say, before we get too spiritual, let's humble ourselves a little bit and think about it. What's the most ridiculous first world problem that you've experienced in the last 48 hours? And I'm going to give you one that I experienced in the last 2 hours, because I was driving to go pick up clothing from our shoppers, and I'm driving down the road and I'm listening to a book that I'm, really into right now. And all of a sudden, the tablet on my car, another first world problem. I have a car that has its own tablet, pretty cool.
Yes.
It goes black. Book goes off. I have no music. I have no book. I can't run. I can't
Just pull
run
over.
my.
Just pull over. Set it on fire.
Can't run my navigation
well
system. And I'm
stop.
thinking, okay, but the car's still running. You're driving. You have like 8 minutes until you're to the location where you're picking up the clothing. And I'm thinking, I started laughing hysterically to myself. Like, I knew I was going to host this today and I was going to ask this question. I'm like,
You're
well,
gonna live it.
now I'm going to live it. That's a first world problem. Did I need music? Did I need my book? No.
No.
Did I need to change the air conditioning setting in my said vehicle to a different temperature setting? No. I didn't
Yeah.
need any of that. But I wanted it, and I was like, oh. And so I was frustrated with the car, and then I just started laughing, and I looked at the black screen, and all of a sudden it started to reset itself, and I was like, okay, God.
Okay.
Humbled.
Humbled. Thank you.
Understood.
I saw one on the way here. I mean, I get experience with AC, heating, the light, replacing a light bulb. We turn those things into first world problems pretty quick. But a friend of ours, said, a first world problem is still a problem. It might be, it's all about perspective. Well, I'm not sure which way you came here, but I was going down the back road, one of the back roads, and it's funny because you're going to be like, you actually brought that up before. There's a truck pulling a trailer, right? You know where this is headed? And it has horses in it, right? 2 horses. And the truck is broken down. Well, if you rewind in history, the horses used to pull the people. Now the people pull the horses. I should have taken a picture of that. So now we have a first world problem. I can't get my horses somewhere because my truck's broken down. I was like, the irony that exists right now on this road, on this
Yes.
street, through Burnett, Texas is just
That's funny.
wild. Yeah. So I think those are, I mean, they're walking through a problem.
I never thought of it like that.
Jesus
Do
is
you
giving
think
a
the
laugh.
horses were sitting there going, really? It's
I'm
hot.
sure if they're, yeah.
Is there going to be more feed in this little bucket while we wait?
It's wild, man.
That's a good one.
I put my coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I might have complained about my coffee in the last 48 hours. I really like my coffee.
Wrong
But
kind?
when it doesn't,
or?
it tasted watery.
What was wrong with it?
Oh.
Yeah,
Were we skimping on the coffee beans?
No, I do the exact amount of coffee beans every morning. Same amount of sugar, the same amount of heavy whipping cream. After she gets her green tea, of course.
After you
First
trim the
world
trees.
problem.
That is a first world problem.
Yeah, well,
I still drank it.
during the process of her finishing the green tea and getting to the coffee, I can trim trees because the coffee will probably be in the fridge by then. But yeah,
I have to say, so
pretty
I will
cute.
call out Caleb, but
take it.
he's
I tried,
off.
bro.
He's off today, and it's exciting because you rarely ever get to just have the freedom of what do I want to do today. And so we were
Yeah.
caught up on some stuff, and guess what he's doing today?
trimming trees.
Yeah, yard work, and I'm like,
That's hilarious.
It's just
Okay.
it just has to get done. But anywho,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
a first world problem. You can
Especially
grow
when
live in
there's
a
rain.
forest.
yeah. I have a lot, unfortunately. Like I probably do, but coffee thing, yeah, like have to have it, and particularly for the last couple weeks. All the stores have been out of the certain half and half I want. And that sounds so spoiled, but I've even told y'all, if you see it, pick it up, I'll pay you back.
She has.
And yeah, so I finally found it. It's back in stock. But then what's funny is now I haven't even used it yet. So, I mean, how often do
Seriously.
I know. I've been,
Israelite.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of bad about that. And also too, just the little inconveniences. It's just like, I'm so,
Oh, this traffic light's too long.
I think
the red
like,
light-
Does this
too
traffic
long.
light even know I'm here?
Yeah, does it not help us all just,
I'd have said
not
that on
T-bone each
Saturday.
other and kill each other and maim
Yeah.
one another? Yes. But it's taking too long for me to get through it.
Yeah.
Traffic while you're sitting in the air conditioner, that's my thing, I'm just like,
Some of
Yeah.
it is pretty ridiculous. When I'm on my Spotify and I'm like, oh, I don't like that song. I'll go to the next one.
oh,
Go to the
yes,
next. I mean,
that's right.
It's almost one of those things like if I know that I'm going to be inconvenienced, I'm okay with it. I can mentally prepare, but it's the being blindsided of inconvenience. Like all of a sudden your AC goes out and it's like, no. Or
hot water heater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Hot water heaters.
I'm not
that
good
that's
with
a big
turns
one.
into a
spur of the
thing.
moment things. I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm prepared, so
Think about electricity,
think about,
oh yeah.
okay, so think about if the Israelites would have known that it's going to just take a little bit.
right?
That's
right?
not how
They maybe wouldn't have
Jesus
grumbled.
works.
I know.
I know.
I think it's the control.
Keeps us in clean.
Control.
One time when we lived in our old
control.
house, our upstairs was much warmer than our downstairs was. And I didn't really realize how much warmer because my bedroom wasn't up there. So I wasn't up there a lot. But one of the kids came downstairs and they're like, it's so hot in my room. I'm like, turn your ceiling fan on. And they were like, well, I want it cold, but I don't want air blowing on me. And I was like, that's a first world problem. You have air, go upstairs. Now, we did find out later that the wrong unit was put up there and it really was hot up there. So, I'm sorry, kids, that we let you sit up there
Abused.
and be
Yeah.
abused with that one time. All right, next section. So the Israelites had to leave Egypt so fast that their bread didn't even have time to rise. No time for packing cubes or Pinterest or anything like that to get ready for their trip. You're going to head on a out into the spiritual wilderness for 40 days, okay? You're going to have the basics, but each of you are going to get to bring one non-religious thing with you. And I'm going to tell you kind of which category that you're going to get to be in. So you're going to bring one thing on our trip with us into this wilderness for the next 40 days. And Jerry, I'm going to start with you. You're going to be our survivalist. Forget the snacks. We're going to have those.
We're together.
We're
Chips.
together.
Are we all together?
We're all
First thing I'm
together.
doing is I'm
Hold on.
going to drop y'all off somewhere.
I know. I was thinking, this is
You have to
like,
play the game.
Okay,
Play
sorry.
the game.
Sorry.
So
Go
you
on.
get one tool or physical item that you can bring to ensure that we're going to actually make this 40-day trip. Now you can see why I picked you for this.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, yay. What did I do wrong? No, I'm just kidding. What a blessing to be hanging out with you guys in the wilderness for survival.
Oh, whatever.
As I look around the table, I feel like a whole lot of first world problems are about to happen.
Probably.
So, okay. First, fixed blade knife. Not a folding knife. Oh, wait, is that included? What's in my kit? So, I'm going to ask questions, but you don't have to. Is a knife in it?
I just said that you had the basic things. So maybe not.
Okay, so if I showed up like this, well, if you know me, you know I've already got a knife or two.
Right.
But let's say I didn't. I would definitely have a fixed blade knife, something along with the phrase bushcraft. It means it's pretty thick. That means you can do just about anything with it. You can make it a weapon. You could use it to skin game. You could cut small trees down, that kind of stuff. But I would, depending on what the kit had, I would probably go between that. We could probably figure out fire through some other avenues. But without fire, fire's a morale booster. Creates security. It's light.
Yeah.
Right? You're not in the darkness. Dark is scary for some people. But like that stick that jumps out and trying to kill you. Yeah. So I don't know. It just depends. Like, I probably have a knife on me, but then I would say I need something.
Okay.
But then I think tourniquet too, because somebody's going to do something dumb, But
Well,
I probably
that's a
have
lot
one
of
of those
things.
too.
Yeah.
So pro tip: somebody be prepared.
Because you just explained fire in this beautiful light, but then when I bring it up,
Well, you relate it to destruction.
Burning it. Your roof's on fire. or
That's a
something.
little different. All right, Hope.
Yes.
So you are going to be the sentimentalist of our
Yes.
group and the heart, and you're going to bring one item from home to tuck in your bag that's going to keep you from getting homesick in the desert. What's it going to be? And we all might want a part of whatever it is you.
Right. So I was going to put a photo album together for everybody.
You got
to
time
have.
for this?
Well, I didn't know if I'd have time for this. So
Well, if I got
if I
time.
can't, then I'm just going to grab chocolate.
Okay.
All right, that's a survival food.
Because I'm thinking we're going to have soft, cozy blankets already in the basics.
Oh, this is going to be
Maybe.
rough. First world problem incoming.
yeah, I was. Go ahead.
You
tell me what I'm supposed to.
You're supposed to bring something to keep us occupied. You're the entertainment person.
Guys, first off,
Hey man,
I'm
we're
here.
walking in circles for 40
I'm bringing
days.
myself. No, okay, so we're walking in circles. That was my question.
Okay, well, there's our first problem. Okay, go ahead.
So, hey, I used to put on talent shows when I was little. I can do this.
Okay, find her on the internet.
No, we didn't have that back then.
Sure.
So that is my question. Like, what time era are we in?
We're in
like,
today's
today.
era.
Oh,
What are you
well,
gonna bring?
What are you going to bring for
thinking
us?
of like wandering in the desert. Okay, well, I'm gonna bring a cell phone.
Okay.
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 Well, hey, y'all
So what
will
are we
be
gonna
happy
do
when
with
I'm
it?
out there. We're gonna watch Netflix. We're gonna.
So we've got
scroll.
like 2 hours of cell phone usage.
Oh gosh, yes, no.
So we're watching one movie, and then we're back to the reality of being lost.
Okay. Didn't think that one through.
Yeah.
You want to change your item
Yeah.
for entertainment?
Okay. Well, I'm bringing my dogs.
Oh, more mouths to feed. Fantastic.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not good at. Well, that's entertaining.
I think
enough.
you would probably be able to bring your animals with you, because if we were going on some type of
like boat,
wilderness,
like
Mm-hmm.
Noah's
We're on a
Ark.
boat now?
I don't know.
we're
That's
in
the
the
other-
desert. I'm pretty
In the
sure
desert.
we're not going to need a boat.
Yeah.
But okay, so in all this, it lends our audience time to think about like these questions as well, and how
What would you bring?
ridiculous we all may seem, or I may seem right now. I don't
Well,
know.
You know, I'd be thinking like
Cards.
in Jerry's
Cards,
case.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I was going to say cards or a game or a puzzle or something that's easy
Cards
to
go a
transport.
long way.
Cards.
Puzzle will be too
Cards
hard.
is a
Or
good one.
dice.
Dice, bank it.
Listen, I don't need
Dominoes.
anything because we could
Dominoes.
play charades. I'm very creative with nothing.
I can't wait to be in
I
the
can
desert
just
with
see
Donna.
working my tail off, trimming trees to make some firewood, and Donna's over there going, "What am I?"
We're over here. We're over here eating chocolate.
Yeah, I get back, chocolate's gone. Donna's a fictional character.
That's awesome. I want to go in the
We
desert
better
with
not
y'all.
be stuck in the desert alone.
Oh,
I think it,
yeah.
Not
oh
for
my
very
God.
long, for
Oh my
sure.
Lord.
Yeah.
Y'all stay
40
here.
days.
I'll go I'll find stuff. Stay there. Yeah.
Okay, so continuing on this journey, God leads via a pillar of clouds and fire. Okay, so we know the story. There's no Waze, there's no Google Maps or anything. So if a cloud moved, you moved, and if it stayed, you stayed. Okay, think about that. So we're out wandering in the desert with chocolate and cards and a guy wielding a knife. And so it's too hot, it's too windy, we're complaining, we're doing all this stuff. So the question is in life, you know, when the cloud moves, are you a person that follows the cloud, which is God's way that he wants you to move, or are you at the one on the backside of the group making your own map and trying to figure out a different way?
Yeah, I got both of those covered. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm definitely a pace. You know, the pace isn't fast enough. So I'm doing good for a little bit, and then I'm like, I would get out of line and be like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe we could try this
Maybe we can move
to
a
pick
little
up the
faster.
pace. And then,
Do you wonder if the Israelites were like that? Were there people that were like, okay, trying to, you know, gather people and go, okay, here's what we need to do. You know, the leadership of the group, or those who thought they were leaders. Or are there people that are like, I don't know, the cloud said we're supposed to follow the cloud. Let's just go.
There was a lot of pressure on
I think
Moses.
Hope and I would have made a completely new plan for everybody. Been like, this isn't working. Clearly, we would have been impatient and pulled out our planners. That's what I would have brought, maybe.
Well, good, because we're going to need kindling to start the fire.
But I think that, yeah, it's like how often when it's not on our time frame, do we just want to recreate the situation and do it our way, or we know best?
Yeah.
So sometimes do you feel like, and I'm going to give you a chance to answer this. So sometimes do you feel like God's leading you in a direction and you're at the back going, hold on, I don't know about that. I might need to recalculate and do something different.
I would say in the last few years, I stopped asking that. I stopped having that type of response. Just because it seems like all bets are been off and it's just all about Jesus. But I'd say my selfishness can get in the way, right? But yeah, God's way is a good way.
So you're saying your selfishness is going to be like, no, that planner is not needed out here. We need that to start the fire. So.
Well, that's just practical, you know, solving
Well,
problems.
so I'm curious, why did you stop asking?
When it comes to just kind of like life stuff.
Well, yeah, you were like, I just stopped asking. Is it because you just, no matter how, I'm just making assumptions in my head.
Yep.
Like, no matter how many times you wandered, I don't know.
Did God bring you back to the same place, same starting place, or?
Just using, you know, I know we got to wrap soon, but just the story of how I got right here, how we got right here, how we, you know, planted this church, and he did it all right. We were just along for the ride, but it looks very different 6 years ago than it does today. Right. And in the middle of that, I was asking him, is this really what you want us to do? Is this really what you want? It was, I don't think, sometimes I was complaining. I was grumbling very much like an Israelite, still do at times, but not about what I'm doing, what he's asked me to do. It's kind of like you making peace with what the Lord's called you to do.
Yeah.
And when you make peace with that and you're walking right behind that cloud, you know, it looks a lot different than me trying to get in front of the cloud.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing for a while. So it's like, well, and that all goes into the whole thing, guys, provision and worry and this and that and all the other stuff. He's like, nope, just follow my cloud. Follow me. It's funny. He says, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men, right? He's got this whole follow him thing. So I don't know if that answers it or not, but
yeah, it sounds like you were
No, it's
making
awesome.
peace.
I was
Yeah.
making peace with it.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're making peace with the direction that God is going and the pace he's going.
that's correct.
It's not just where, but it's how long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my wife, who is on the same journey, like not just like watching me go through a journey, but literally, like it takes one flesh to another level because again, in our story of the layoff and the furlough, and it's just like we were both kind of in the same position. And he kind of, literally, guys, he says, "Do I have your attention now?"
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of
And-
perk up to that.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm like,
yeah.
yes. And I'm like, look, squirrel.
Well, and you know what? You just gave me a good entertainment. I changed mine
Okay.
from your thoughts. A fishing pole. Because then
Yeah.
it's entertainment. See? Entertainment.
She's come a long way, folks, in just a few minutes.
and
Be
it
proud of her.
provides, it's easier to catch food for
I
us.
like it.
This
I like the
is
I
fishing.
like it.
I'm so proud of you
I
right
know.
now.
See, just listening and,
Yes.
We learned so
fishers
much
of
from
men.
each other.
Yes. But
Straight
staying
up.
in God's word.
Food. Immediate
Twofold.
food. Ways to get
Entertainment,
food.
food,
Yes.
That's awesome.
Fish and chocolate.
fish and
Good,
chocolate.
good job, team.
All
Let's
right.
not die together.
For sure. All right. So, what's your anthem? What's your desert anthem? What song would you play to motivate yourself?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Well, right now, because I think
either.
the question was the way I read it, what do you go to?
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
and mine's the song that's called Psalm 23
Okay.
is a great one.
Okay. That's
If
a
you
good
haven't
go-to
heard
song.
it.
I'll just second that.
And then Run to the Father. That's a really good one.
I had How Great Is Our God
Yeah.
Absolutely.
for a kind of a more religious one. And if I was going to do a non-Christian, I'd do Michael Jackson's Don't Stop Till You Get It Right.
Keep on.
What is that? Here I Am, Lord. I think it's called Here I Am.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I have so many songs I identify with. It is off the charts. Yeah.
And you,
Yeah,
For
you're a
sure.
music
Yeah,
guy.
It's just,
he can sing them for you.
I
The next
feel,
podcast.
yes, that's what'll happen. So tune in. We will have 0 viewers.
Do you have a go-to verse that you would say over and over again on our desert walk in circles?
Yeah. Galatians 6:9. Do not become weary in doing good. For
that's
the
a good
proper
one.
time you will reap a harvest. And then, why is that funny?
It's not you. It's me. What I'm gonna say because it's gonna be.
You're supposed to be
thought of-
listening
I'm
to
listening.
me.
Oh yes, yes.
And then
Lord.
you brought this one up a couple weeks ago, if not last week. Isaiah 40:31. Those who hope in the Lord will soar on wings like eagles. They'll run and
Yep.
not get weary.
Follow the cloud, man.
Man, I'm just walking through the
Okay,
woods
I
right now
gotta
with
hear
you.
this.
I know. What
Oh,
was
it's
that?
Ephesians 6:10. Yes. And it just applies to us being stranded together in the wilderness. Finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty strength. It's like, Lord, I'm going to need you to get me through this.
I was actually thinking the same thing, but in terms
Ephesians
of that,
6:10.
It would be
No.
an honor to help you guys
I
survive
was thinking
in the
Galatians
wilderness.
1:10
Y'all would
because
help
I
me.
was like, am I trying to please man or
Yeah.
There you
see?
go.
Because
Yeah.
Jerry would be like, "What are y'all doing? And
What are you
we'd be
doing here?
like,
You should be fishing.
the Lord said,
You should be cutting trees. So
I'm
we have fire.
in the tree while I'm saying it.
Okay.
"It's a desert, right?"
Mine
He's
was-
over there with, I have chocolate. And we're like, yay.
Mine was Philippians 4:13.
Yeah.
Can do all things for him who gives me strength. Same thing, like, please make me stop walking.
Yeah.
Don't make the cloud move. I'm tired.
Can you
Any
make
physical
us-
grace that you would give yourself? What do you do now to give yourself physical grace? Let's just go there.
Geez, that's another
not in the
podcast, man.
desert, but
Exercise.
yep. Mine was walk with my besties, or call a bestie, or call my sisters. I mean, those are the things that will get me out of the funk.
Yeah, I like to run. I do like
Y'all
to
are
run.
so healthy. So I'm gonna be honest, and mine's not like a
I know
healthy.
what you're gonna pick.
I got it. I wrote it down specifically, but I like doing this, and it's okay. So it's a reflection time, I say. Jerry, you laughing?
I did write,
Yeah, it's just your-
journaling.
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
well, it is journaling, but
Oh,
it's more
that's
like
awesome.
No, it's more like planning. But I have a certain place in my house, and in the windows up, and it's
What's wrong? This is
Hey,
good.
Is that what we can call planning? Reflection
yes,
time?
reflection time. But here's the thing. Yeah, what I can control in my life. No, I was inspired by y'all's house and your little prayer area with the window. And
Yeah, it's moved. It's in Hope's
so
office
I
now.
do sit by the window, and I have to say I do have the television on. But then I pause when there's like a certain concentration reflection time. But I watch my little FBI shows. Hey, listen.
That's
And-
what I thought she was gonna say.
Wow.
But what it does, okay, so Hope will appreciate this.
Okay.
My FBI shows, all those exciting things. it makes me forget about the distractions that are
Okay.
going on. So it tunes me in.
Yeah.
And then I'm journaling or I'm doing something that I can do lightly, but be thinking those thoughts. And then if I need to like really pray about something, I pause the show. But that is the only way. Otherwise, I'm like, squirrel, let me go clean. Let me do this. But it recenters me for like 2 hours
Okay.
or an hour to 2. But that's my reflection time. Oh, and with coffee. So.
Gotta have the coffee at any time of the night.
Or walking, but I haven't gotten back in that habit yet. So I'll just
We'll
be
get you there.
honest. Yeah.
We'll get you there. All right. Any other comments
No.
before I close this
Good
out?
stuff.
That's
All
good.
right.
That's fun.
Well, as it turns
Hopefully
out,
we make it out.
yep, we're not much different
I'll
than
make
the
it out.
Israelites. We might have better shoes and air conditioning,
Yep.
but our hearts still get restless
Yep.
when the journey takes longer than we planned. So today we have laughed about our first world complaints. We've wrestled with what it looks like to follow the cloud. All of us have to follow the cloud once in a while, even when we know our GPS could take us someplace differently. But the beautiful thing about the wilderness and the fact that it feels like a place of emptiness, but actually it's a place where God slows us down to listen. And so take that time when you're in the desert to do that. Just listen and be still. And remember, the dry ground is exactly where the manna falls. So
Yeah.
know that manna's coming
yeah.
to you. So if you enjoyed today's episode, give us a like, give us a follow. We enjoyed spending a little bit of your day with you. And until next time, may you be blessed. And even when you feel like you're walking alone, you're really not. God's with you.